How to respect yourself in front of toxic people. Carl Jung explains, there comes a point in life when silence becomes louder than arguments, when peace becomes more valuable than being right, and when walking away becomes the highest form of self-respect. Carl Jung once said the most terrifying thing is to accept yourself completely, because once you do that, no one's opinion can control you again. Today we explore what really happens inside your mind when you face toxic people and how to protect your energy without losing your soul. Part 1. The psychology of respect. Respect doesn't start with how others treat you. It starts with what you tolerate in silence. Jung believed that every time you stay where your soul feels small, you betray yourself a little more. Toxic people feed on that betrayal because they sense when someone doubts their own worth. They use words to manipulate emotions. They twist kindness into weakness. They drain your light just to feel powerful for a moment. But here's the truth Jung pointed out. No one can make you feel inferior without your inner permission. The moment you choose self-understanding over external approval, you begin to take your power back. Self-respect is not pride, it's clarity. It's knowing what belongs to you and what doesn't. You don't have to shout your worth to prove it. Real respect speaks quietly. Part 2. The mirror effect. Carl Jung explained that what we reject in others often reveals what we suppress in ourselves. This is called the shadow projection. So when a toxic person belittles you or tries to control you, their behavior is not a reflection of your value. It's a reflection of their own chaos. But if you respond with anger or hatred, you get trapped in the same pattern. The energy you fight stays alive in you. The lesson is not to fight the darkness, but to refuse to become it. Jung believed that awareness itself is the cure. When you see the manipulation clearly, you don't need revenge, you just need distance. Because distance is not disrespect, it's protection. Every time you step back from someone who feeds on drama, you are saying to your unconscious mind, I deserve peace. And that is the beginning of true self-respect. Part 3. The silent boundary. Toxic people expect reaction. They live off emotional chaos, so your silence confuses them. It's not weakness, it's mastery. It means you understand that not every battle deserves your presence. Jung said that everything that irritates us about others can lead to understanding ourselves. So instead of asking why they treat me this way, ask what part of me still needs their approval. When you stop needing it, they lose control. Your energy becomes still. Your voice becomes calm. You no longer try to explain who you are. You simply are. And that is the deepest form of respect a human being can hold in front of toxicity. Not pride, not arrogance, but peace that cannot be disturbed. Part 4. Understanding energy. Exchange. Every human interaction is an exchange of energy. Some people bring peace, clarity, and inspiration. Others leave you confused, drained, and angry. Jung taught that if you feel smaller every time you meet someone, that is not connection, it is control. Toxic people use emotional confusion as a tool. They shift blame, they play the victim, and they make you question your own reality. This process is called gaslighting, and Jung would describe it as psychological projection taken to its extreme. The more unaware you are, the easier it is for others to enter your inner world. But the moment you become conscious of their tactics, the game ends. Because awareness breaks manipulation like light breaks darkness. The key to self-respect is not revenge, it's recognition. You cannot change a toxic person, but you can change your response. You can choose not to dance to their emotional rhythm. You can choose silence over explanation and peace over proof. When you no longer react, they lose access to your energy field, and that is how quiet people become powerful. Part 5. Boundaries are sacred. Carl Jung said that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life, and you will call it fate. Most people believe that setting boundaries means being rude or cold, but boundaries are not walls. They are gates. They decide who enters your mental space and who must stay outside. A boundary says, I value myself enough to protect my peace. It is not punishment, it is self-awareness. When you say no to disrespect, you are not rejecting the person, you are rejecting the version of yourself that accepted less. And when you do that, your energy shifts. People who once controlled you start losing interest because they no longer find weakness to feed on. Jung believed that individuation, the process of becoming whole, requires separation from unhealthy attachments. To respect yourself, you must detach from what keeps you small, even if it means standing alone. Because solitude with self-respect is far more healing than company with self-betrayal. Part 6. The illusion of guilt. Toxic people often use guilt as a weapon. They make you believe that choosing yourself is selfish. But Jung explained that guilt is sometimes just the voice of an old identity dying. The part of you that always wanted to please everyone starts fading away, and it hurts because it has been your survival mask for years. But this is not cruelty. This is growth. The moment you stop apologizing for protecting your energy, you begin to heal your inner child. That child learned that love means pleasing others. Now you teach it that love means protecting your soul. Respecting yourself in front of toxic people is not about proving them wrong. It's about remembering who you are before their words try to define you. That remembrance is sacred. It rebuilds your self-trust. And once you trust yourself again, no one can manipulate you. The moment you decide to walk away from disrespect, something inside you shifts. It's not arrogance, it's awareness. Carl Jung said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." And when you start respecting yourself, you begin to meet that real version of you. You no longer fight for approval. You no longer chase validation. You simply exist as someone who knows their worth. Toxic people will notice this change. They'll call you cold. They'll call you distant. They'll even say you've changed. And they're right. You have changed because you finally learned to love yourself more than their chaos. When you stop arguing with people who only want to drain your energy, you reclaim your peace. When you stop explaining your worth, you reclaim your power. When you stop staying silent out of fear, you reclaim your voice. Self-respect is not about fighting back. It's about standing tall, even in silence. It's about walking away without guilt. It's about saying, "I choose peace over people who disturb it." And Jung would remind you, every time you stand up for yourself, your unconscious takes note. You reprogram your inner world. You teach your mind that you matter. The next time a toxic person tries to guilt trip you, pause, don't react, just breathe. Ask yourself, is this conversation serving my peace? If not, you have your answer. Respecting yourself means setting boundaries that protect your soul. It means saying no without apology. It means not giving your silence to someone who doesn't value your words. The truth is, toxic people feed on attention. Take that away, and they lose power. Don't try to heal them. Heal yourself instead. Because your peace is sacred, and your respect starts from within. As Jung would say, the greatest tragedy is to live unaware of your own worth. So remember, every time you hold your ground, you are not being rude. You are being real, you are being awakened, and you are teaching your soul to never settle for less than it deserves. Walk away when respect fades. Speak up when silence becomes self-betrayal, and protect your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. That is how you truly respect yourself in front of toxic people. Not with words, not with anger, but with calm power and quiet self-love.